ball game.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to Shonen Hoops. As you see, we have a special guest today. How we doing, Josh? How we doing?
How's it going, Omar? Thanks for having me. I'm doing well.
Of course. Andy is almost done with what he's been doing, so he'll be back very soon. But it's been a while, and it's only right we talk about our team over here. We've been struggling, 29-31, 7th in the Eastern Conference. Detroit and Milwaukee are putting room in between us. How do you feel about the play-in tournament?
In my opinion, it's what we deserve. When you don't play well, this is what happens. We can contribute it to injuries. We can make all the excuses we want. But at the end of the day, this team doesn't look ready to play together. There's coaching issues. There's guys, we can just say shooting's an issue, but clearly some guys are just not good basketball players, to be honest. And the roster construction, it's a whole bunch of things. I'm okay with the play-in tournament, whether we end up getting into the playoffs or not. I don't think I care, to be honest, because I just know we have a ceiling on this team. So no matter what we do, it ain't gonna be much.
We're not sure if we have good basketball players on the roster. See, now that's a stretch. Now, can all these guys shoot? No. But I think the injury excuse is extremely valid. The Franz, Paulo, and Jalen Suggs have only played in 6 games together. There's not even 100 minutes on the floor together. We lost Mo Wagner early in the year. And this year just feels like, in terms of injury, it's just weird. Because it's like, outside of Gary Harris, which I think we can all agree, it's done. Especially with tonight, it's like cemented. I don't think he gets into the game unless further injuries happen. It's like the guys we deem durable are the ones that went down. We don't expect Paul to go down. We don't expect Franz to go down. We don't expect Mo Wagner to go down. So it's like, as much as I want to say, yes, there's no excuses on injuries, but it's like, it's not the guys we expected to get hurt that they would get hurt. Jonathan Isaac hasn't missed extended time this year.
Yeah.
The only guy is Jalen, and that's because how Jalen plays, and we live with it. But it's like, outside of the small stretch that Wendell missed, Wendell has been back. He's been playing well. The shot hasn't come around, granted, but it hasn't come out for anyone. And it's like, that's the most bewildering part, is the guys we were counting as shooters coming in for the past 2 years that have shot the ball well just haven't. So I was looking. I'm gonna play a little game with you. I was looking at the stats from last year. Can you give me the list of players that shot above 36% from 3 that actually played in meaningful games?
Jalen.
Okay. Yes.
And that's it.
Okay. So, Jonathan Isaac shot like 38% from 3 last year. Wendell Carter Jr. shot 37% from 3 last year. Jalen Suggs shot 39% from 3 last year. KCP shot 40% with his former team. Joe Ingles shot 43.5. Anthony Black shot 39%.
From 3?
Yes. Paulo only shot...
Oh, yeah, he barely got minutes.
Yeah, but he barely got minutes. The time he did play, he shot 39. Paulo only shot 33. Franz shot under 30.
Yeah. I remember that.
But yes, we're coming. So my point, and Mo Wagner shot 33%. So my point being is, you expect you don't bring back Markelle Fultz. You assume AB is going to be better because he actually shoots the ball, and as of late he's shooting the ball pretty well. Cole Anthony shot 34% from 3 last year. Cole Anthony's been pretty good this year. You look at your starting 5. You're expecting, with Paulo and Franz, you're adding 37% from Wendell, even if it's 35-36, around the same area. Jalen's 3-point percentage this year, it's, in my opinion, direct correlation to Paulo's injury, because you ask so much from him offensively. So I think that's direct correlation. And KCP, who's under 30% as of right now. It's bewildering, because these guys that we were counting on just haven't shot the ball well at all. And it's happening across the board, including with Paulo and Franz to that list.
Yeah, it's just crazy, No one expected KCP to play like this. No one expected all these percentages to go down, and it's like how much of it is on coaching? I mean, like sometimes if you watch games, not just highlights, but some of the games, if you're able to catch it, you can see sometimes we look worse when we come out of a timeout. Like you're supposed to come out, and I know sometimes it's hard to execute things, but still, it's like, all we hear about from Moses, defense this, defense that. When do we ever see this team play proper offensive sets? When do you see lobs in the pick and roll? When do you see and I know a lot of it comes when you can't hit shots. It's going to start affecting other areas of your game. But it's like this team is so, they're stagnant with everything they do. They rely on Paolo and Franz to score all the points, and whoever can add anything, that's just a bonus. But that can't be how it is.
Of course not, and that's that's why I don't believe the biggest need into this offseason is the center position. This team needs a point guard, and it's why I was personally so against with letting Markel walk. Is this team doesn't have an organizer. Anthony Black wasn't ready to do that with the starting unit. Anthony Black hasn't looked good in the starting lineup.
Yo, you didn't see Weltman's script? It got leaked. Bro, he's going for Trae Young.
Bro, listen, Trae Young's not coming to Orlando. LaMelo Ball's not coming to Orlando. The way the second apron works, it's not happening. Unless you're willing to give up on Jalen Suggs, it's not happening. And personally, I don't know if I'm ready to give up on Jalen. I'm not. But speaking of Weltman, we saw what happened at the trade deadline. Go ahead, because I think the hate's not warranted. But go ahead.
Okay, I'll try not to ramble on. I'll keep it short and sweet. I like Jeff Weltman. I think he's built an amazing core consisting of Paolo, Franz, and Jalen. I think a lot of people have their different versions of what the core is to them right now, but I think those three have solidified themselves as part of the long-term plans for this team. He's made great moves since he's come to free up cap space. And, we've seen that's not easy for every executive to do. He's built up draft picks and draft capital in general. But he doesn't know what it takes to get to the next step. And I think that's okay to admit. I think sometimes when you show you're too reliant or scared to make trades or address team needs, and you're always using the excuse, well, teams were trying to squeeze us, or we didn't want to give up this amount of picks for like a short-term rental or a short-term fix. But all it is excuses. Because you can use those quote-unquote excuses when you're still in your rebuild. We're past the rebuild. I'm not talking about AB and Jet and Tristan da Silva developing. That part is a whole other rebuild in itself. But the main rebuild is done. So yeah, you don't make drastic moves. Like, granted, back in 2022, I think that was the year Paolo was drafted, if I'm not mistaken. That would have been if they made a big trade. That's, you don't have patience. Now, we're in a different stage because you see how good Paolo and Franz are at such a young age. Similar to Tatum and Brown in Boston. The second you see you have talent like that, you surround them with winning pieces. And Jeff Weltman has showed on numerous occasions he's not capable of making those trades. He's not capable of making the moves necessary to improve the roster because for him it's all about internal growth. At one point, you can't use that excuse anymore. You can't have 7 young guys part of your regular rotation when you're competing for a chip. It just doesn't work like that. You need a mix of young players, vets, and locker room guys. And frankly, we thought we were getting that in KCP. Clearly, he's fallen off. And so, I think the hate is warranted. I still think he's a good executive overall. He knows how to go to a new team, and especially in a rebuild stage, build a solid foundation, a great foundation. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's going to be there when the team wins a championship, in my opinion.
Okay, so I disagree because hindsight is always going to be 2020. So let's rewind the clock a little bit and let's remember where we were when the playoffs ended, and we said, okay. We all said we wanted veteran presence, but the majority, I didn't say, but the majority of Magic fandom said Joe Ingles was unplayable in the playoffs. Veteran presence, shooter, gone. Okay. Markel Fultz, unplayable, let him walk. Okay.
He was unplayable though,
Markel Fultz, no longer on the team. You replace that with Anthony Black, And we're not going to pretend like we weren't raving about the KCP signing.
Yeah.
We saw what the starting lineup was with Gary Harris in it, and we all thought KCP was going to be an upgrade, and the team won 47 games last year. Fast forward to this year. No point guard, because there's no Markelle Fultz. Joe Ingles, gone. KCP doesn't live up to expectations. Gary Harris, again with his injury problems. So at one point is
this... we ain't gonna talk about injury problems for Gary Harris.
Hold on. I get it.
He's in the league of itself, bro.
I get it. But at what point do we say this isn't Jeff Weltman ignoring the problems and more of the plan we set in place based on what we saw in the playoffs just didn't work out? Because we want to say, oh, Jeff Weltman didn't try. Well, Jeff Weltman should have done this. If it was that easy, Cameron Johnson would have got traded somewhere else. Kobe White would have gotten traded somewhere else. These guys that we wanted didn't get traded at all. So I don't think it's to say Orlando didn't try to do it or it didn't work out. I just think it didn't work out. The plan that Jeff Weltman tried to do, it just didn't work out. KCP did not work out, which is okay, but he tried. We gave KCP a bag, and it just didn't work out. It could have been worse. We could have signed Paul George.
Well, he robbed Orlando.
And he would have been we would have been doing Paul George's injury issues as well. But it happened. But I don't think it's due to a lack of effort. We tried. We got rid of the guys that were considered unplayable in the playoffs, and we added pieces that were going to work out, and it hasn't. So I think we go from this year and retool it in the summer. I personally, I was hoping to go after Kobe White. I think Kobe White could have been a long-term answer, but we don't know what Chicago wanted. Would you have traded Jalen Suggs for Kobe White?
Yo, I don't think Chicago was expecting Jalen Suggs. I would have gladly given up one first-round pick and however many second-round picks they wanted, because granted, we don't use a second-round pick.
But if you're Chicago, Kobe White is on a great contract. He's young, and he's elite and he's shown a lot of promise offensively. Why am I trading away Kobe White for nothing?
Is Kobe White part of long-term plans in Chicago?
I think he is. If it's not a big offer that's gonna blow me away, why not? I think he could be.
With the state the Bulls are in, my only thing is, I mean, granted, they should have probably made more trades, let alone traded Vucevic, but it just shows. I think they're just going into a rebuild. They just delayed the inevitable.
Of course.
And I feel like if they really wanted to start over, they'd get rid of all their guys. And if we could give them draft capital, something I don't think they really have. I mean, I feel like, but then again, the Bulls management front office, they're also a weird front office.
Their front office is full of idiocy. Like
exactly.
I looked into holes of what Chicago fan base was talking about. They said a successful season to them is to steal the play-in tournament. So that's if that's their goal, that means Kobe White has to be part of that plan. So it would explain why it was so much tougher to get Kobe White.
And I'm not trying to make excuses, but the Bulls have had their problems. But when they were healthy with Lonzo, DeRozan, I think they were a top 3-4 seed.
They were I believe second in the East.
So I still do believe Billy Donovan. I'm not trying to turn this into a Bulls podcast. I think Billy Donovan is a good coach. He hasn't been dealt a great roster besides when he did have a healthy Bulls team. But it just shows that front office is incapable of making proper moves. So I feel like even if they did get good deals for Kobe White, they would have been like, nah.
So if you're saying that, why are we we're going back to Jeff Weltman and be like, oh, you didn't try. You failure of an executive.
I guess we'll never know.
My thing is, I get it. I was frustrated too, but it's calling Weltman out of his name in the discourse that went on and that's still going on is crazy.
Do you believe they should have made a trade at the trade deadline?
Yeah, I wanted Kobe White, but I'm pretty sure a lot of teams wanted Kobe White.
A trade should have been made. I'm not saying to save the season, but they could have gotten an answer. No doubt. There was one guy.
But the answers we wanted, none of them got moved. Corey Kispert, if it was that easy, Corey Kispert would have gotten traded out of Washington.
I mean, we don't know that. The Magic are the only team in the league who have enough draft capital even young players, whether they were willing to part with them or not, that you could trade for like a big guy. I'm saying big guy like a Colin Sexton or Cam Johnson without breaking the bank.
Okay, so
So Jeff Weltman really wanted to do it. Maybe he's like, okay, I can do it in the off season. But the thing is, when he mentioned they were getting squeezed, I'm like, well, now you see, we're just gonna get squeezed more.
I
in
think
the off-season.
the trade deadline is also a lot harder. A lot of GMs have said it. Mark Lacob from Golden State, now he's an ESPN analyst. He said the trade deadline is always harder because the time, the 3 o'clock time barrier is always like a sideline defender to the point where like these teams will usually be like, oh, if you're desperate enough, you're gonna do it now. But again, if it was that easy, Cam Johnson still didn't want to be on the Nets to this day. He would have got to move somewhere else.
Well, remember they only
OKC has that same has more draft capital than we have. If it was that easy, Cam Johnson would be in OKC right now.
At the end of the day, to improve this roster, it's going to come through trades because we don't have money for free agency.
For sure, absolutely.
They only delayed the inevitable, in my opinion. And I mean, I don't think Weltman deserves the offseason to make a move because, granted, if he doesn't, this fan base will riot the way the Mavericks did outside of American Airlines, the way they treated, like when Luka got traded. That's going to be the magic in the summer if Weltman doesn't do shit.
I mean,
I don't know where that to
no, I don't care. You go for it. But
yeah.
To me, it's just still tough because if Kobe White would have ended up in New Orleans or Cam Johnson would have ended up in OKC, any of these other guys that were wanted, Corey Kispert ended up in Denver or in LA. Cool, I got it. Weltman dropped the back, but they weren't moved.
But remember, Wendy also reported, contrary to what Weltman told Jason Beatty of the Orlando Sentinel, when you call the Magic front office, you can't tell whether they want to make a trade or not. You're confused when you call them. And I believe that. Because when you just look at the history of, not just this front office, of Jeff Weltman himself, and I don't even know what role Anthony Parker plays, to be honest, because we never hear him. I don't think we'll ever hear from him, besides the end of season exit interviews. Like, bro, what are you getting when you call them on the? Are you actually negotiating, or are you just chilling on the phone? Like, what are you? Are you aggressive? Because he said he was aggressive, unless he was lying. So I don't know. There's two stories being told out to the media right now.
I honestly, I think the offseason will definitely be the telling point where this franchise is and where Weltman stands. I think this offseason is the final straw. I'm willing to give it to him. So
you're saying if he doesn't make any moves in the offseason besides draft more young players,
yes,
he's on the hot seat.
Yes.
Or he should be fired.
I think he's very close to very problematic moving forward because I do not want to see KCP back in the starting five. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see an unproven guy back into the starting five.
That goes back to Coach Mosley too. Like, we always hear him preach about you gotta earn your minutes, you gotta do this and that. KCP plays so ass. How does he? I'm not saying it's as easy to take a guy out of the starting lineup, but when nothing's gonna change. We're more than halfway into the season. We only got 20 games left or something. Like, nothing's going to change with KCP. Like, what are you doing? Like, bench the guy. Yeah, please, do something.
I hit the point with KCP. It's like the efficiency doesn't bother me. It's the volume. But 0 for 3 is insane. 3 shots as a starter is completely insane.
The last game, he attempted 1-3, and he made 1-3. He only attempted 1-3.
Like, to me, it's like no shit. No shit you missed the only 3 you took late in the game. You weren't in rhythm because you didn't get shots throughout the game.
And he's done.
And it might be because outside of KCP, what? You're gonna go pressure Anthony Black on the perimeter? Tristan Da Silva? No. Gary Harris? Hell no. Like, that might be why, because he's the only one. But that goes back to Jalen Suggs would be nice. I think this stretch of games really solidify. I'm thinking about it as 9 guys Because knowing Mo's 10, it's always gonna be 10 with Mo's. If we're not counting Tristan's minutes, he only went 9 today because Tristan only played 3. He didn't play in the second half.
I mean, that's what in my opinion.
I'm so happy Gary didn't play. I'm so proud of Mose. I'll say that. I'm so proud. Jet played 20. I'm proud of it. I'm here for it. Jet played 20 minutes.
I'm just okay though with adding new talent to the bench in the offseason. Like I can't watch Anthony Black, Tristan Da Silva, and Jet Howard. And it's nothing against any of those guys. I'm sure in a few years they will be great. But we are not gonna play Paolo and Franz with all these 20-year-olds who aren't gonna contribute to winning now. That's my problem. And you know what you're getting. AB is barely a scorer. He's barely a point guard. He just has good size, which obviously fits the mold of what the front office likes. Jet Howard, he needs consistent minutes. Maybe tonight is the start of that. Maybe. But he needs consistent minutes to develop. And then Tristan Silva, he's a 23-year-old rookie who should have experience. And I know he didn't get much minutes tonight, but even past few games, he hasn't been that impressive. Like, you know what you're getting. And then you add Jonathan Isaac, Mo Wagner. Like, yeah, they're great, but, like, for what they provide. But this is not a sustainable bench.
I think Mo Wagner is.
Some young players got to go.
I think Mo Wagner is. Mo Wagner is most definitely the energy and the offense he provides. The offense he gives. He's most definitely the backup center moving forward.
I think I just need...
My problem is, like, again, I don't care. If you don't make shots, so be it. But, damn it, I need you to be, like, do something. This, like, 0 for 2, 0 for 3, it's not going to work. Because you become too predictable.
Exactly.
Tristan goes... I think that's been Tristan's problem is... There goes too many games where he goes 0 for 1, 0 for 2 with, like, 22 minutes played, and it's... I'm like, Tristan,
that's my point, bro.
You're too good for this. Like, AB, he was aggressive. I didn't know he only went. After look at the box score after the game, I couldn't tell you he went 2 for 10. I liked the aggressiveness he played with. I'm cool. If you struggle, so be it. But if you're pushing the ball, putting on rim pressure.
Yeah.
And that's like, I can live with that. That's better than seeing AB going 0 for 1, 20 minutes played. I'm like, no. Then you're forcing Paulo to shoot over a double team, forcing Franz to take contested shots. Of course, they're great players, so they're going to score some of them, but that's not sustainable.
Yeah, man. I mean, what do you expect these guys to do? Like you just said, when the offense becomes predictable, when you have guys who just can't hit the three. You talk about Cole Anthony. I would have liked for him to be traded at the trade deadline. I'm really hoping his time comes to an end in the offseason.
I don't know. You cannot tell me you want offense and then say trade Cole. Those two statements cannot be true.
I'm saying replace that. I'm not saying the answer is Anthony Black and Jet Howard.
With what?
Like, go get more talent and, like, make trades, do something.
I think you have...
Cole Anthony has proven to you he is not a consistent scorer.
But if you want to... He's starting right now. That's the problem. He's starting. That's the issue. You don't have a... He's the only... That's the issue.
What were you watching the first 41 games of the season? Like,
he didn't play well. Absolutely.
You saw how ass he was, no?
Yeah, he didn't play well. I'm not going to lie to you. He didn't play well.
He didn't play well.
He didn't play well. But he's been fine. I'm like...
He had a good stretch of games when he was healthy this past week. That's great.
For the past week, let's not do that. Let's not do that. He's been great for like the past 30.
30 games?
Since, like, remember, Jalen hasn't played in the past, like, 24 games. Since Jalen's been out, I've been happy with Cole. Very happy. So
you just forgot how he played the first half of this?
No.
This is what he does, bro.
No. Listen. Remember,
he's messing with your mind.
A lot of what people do, you forget these are people. So understand, like, if you're, like, I don't want to call Cole insecure, but a rhythm matters. So if you know, like, okay, I'm going to play these certain amount of minutes and I'm, like, free to play these certain styles, cool. But if I'm being moved here, moved there, I need to do this now, but now I have to facilitate more because he's out, this, that, or the other, that creates issues. And
you're a big fan of AG, no?
I was.
You know where I'm going with this. Eh?
I was. And he was miscasted. AG was miscasted here.
Sometimes I'm saying like you just need to know when to let go.
But
we should have let Cole go.
But if you want offense,
I'm not saying, but that's what I'm saying. You have to replace that. You have to, because I know and I can admit AB and Jet are not the answer to the bench.
So I think Cole can be, and if you if you restructure the bench unit around the guys you do want to keep, then it can work with some of these guys. You don't want to have.
Cole's had 5 years.
Listen, because culture also matters. Locker room matters. These championship players have said it. They said locker room matters, culture matters.
So last year, when the culture and vibes were at an all-time high, and he started the season playing ass, and he lost the rotation spot because of it. The vibes weren't high then. We were winning at the beginning of the season.
This year or last year?
This year.
Yes, Cole didn't play well. A lot. This has been across the roster. This whole roster hasn't played well.
But it's just
top to bottom. Every player has regressed.
Cole's not consistent though. That's what we knew coming out of college, and we've tried to delude ourselves into being like, yo, just give him another year. Give him another year. It's always gonna be the same story, and just in my opinion, it's not gonna change. Maybe if he goes somewhere else, I don't know, New York, that's his home, but he's a great character. I love him, but I'm done accepting.
I don't think Cole's mediocre. I think Cole is a very good. It's the polarizing. I've seen Cole sixth man of the year. It's insane because I've seen Cole be sixth man of the year to trade him. I've seen Coach Mullins to be like, this is the coach of the year to he will never be the coach of the future. Fire him today. I've seen Jeff Weltman. Oh, great summer. He brought in KCP, this, that, or the other. To he is the worst GM.
But sometimes things change. Things change.
Bro, it's like week to week, and it's mind-boggling to me. I don't understand it. So let's play a game. We're gonna play a game. We're gonna play 10 spots. All right. Either 10, 2 guards to 2 shooting guards. From what we have now, who should stay? Opening night next year, who should be on the roster? Can we agree the 2, 3, and 4 should be Jalen, Franz, and Paulo?
Yes.
Yes. The backup center should be Mo Wagner.
Yes.
Okay. So that's 4 out of 10.
I don't know if he's the backup center, because then what about Goga?
Listen.
Oh no.
Listen.
You want to take Goga out of this rotation, but knowing what he was doing?
No. Listen to what I have. Listen. So is Goga your starting center? Hell no.
I'm taking him over Wendell.
Absolutely not.
Bro. I know you're a Wendell fan.
Absolutely not. It's happened twice now. Is once Goga gets figured out, because he's not. He got figured out again. I don't want to say he got figured out, but teams caught on to how to guard him. So he hasn't been great.
I'm not gonna pretend he hasn't been great since.
And it happened last year. The same way. Wendell got hurt. Goga stepped in, and he was great until he got figured out.
But then again, he was just getting to know the magic.
But it happened again this year. No one knew how to guard him. He was able. It was like Marcin Gortat when we had Dwight Howard.
Better with the starting lineup, though.
Huh?
He fit in better with the starting lineup,
and
we were winning.
Not. Yeah, when there was no Paulo and there was no Franz, of course.
And we were winning.
Yeah, there was no Paulo, no Franz.
I mean, Franz was still playing at the time.
All right,
just Paulo wasn't.
All right, so there's no Paulo. So see, you want Goga over Paulo in the starting unit?
No, well, not Paulo, but Wendell, yeah, bro.
Goga doesn't fit with both of them. Goga takes up too much of the same space as Paulo does, and that's the problem.
I don't know. I'd take Goga over Wendell, bro. Have you seen Wendell?
Oh, yeah, I've seen Wendell recently. Oh, recently? Oh, I've seen Wendell.
I know you're not forgetting the first 50 games of the season with Wendell Carter Jr. I know you didn't forget that. You can't ignore that and then be like, oh, he played great the past 3 games, man. He's everything I wanted him to be.
Wendell, Maybe it's the
I love players too, bro.
maybe it's the I like the idea of Wendell Carter. Because
I'm pretty sure we talked about
I think
this.
the archetype of Wendell Carter is what the team needs. That type of center.
It's amazing. I completely agree. But that's not who he is. And I think it's okay to come to terms with that.
Listen.
You want him to be someone he's not.
Listen.
That's the problem.
His defense has been.
I felt the same way with AG, bro. You know this.
Listen.
I felt that way with AG.
Hold on. Listen. To me, Wendell, defense. I've loved his defense all year. My only his shooting hasn't been there this year. Yes. My only frustration with Wendell was when he's not aggressive.
His motor is awful too. We won't go to the Mobamba experience.
Oh no, you're comparing his motor to Mobamba. That's crazy.
I don't know.
If his motor was awful and he was this like guy that didn't care, he
looked unplayable.
He wouldn't have cried. We saw the man cry in Dallas.
But I cry all the time.
We saw when he went down right after Franz or right after Paulo, he broke down in tears.
Yeah.
Don't tell me Wendell doesn't care. He doesn't have a motor. Wendell is healthy right now.
Motor's not as bad as Mo Bamba.
Wendell is healthy right now. And I am willing to bet that this year's a wash across the roster. I don't want to hear it. Next year, if this man has a similar role to if it's on this team or whatever team, his 3-point percentage will be back around 33, 34.
Okay, so...
And if it does that, combined with what he's doing right now, he is the perfect center for this team.
If someone told you, if you get rid of Wendell this year, you have a much better chance of winning the finals next year.
Who am I getting? Don't tell me go because that's not happening. Tell me who you're replacing Wendell.
I don't know the external.
You have to tell me who the center is.
I'm just saying, if someone told you we had a better chance of winning the championship next year without Wendell on this team, would you make the move? Yes or no?
Who am I getting? I'm trying to build a roster. You have to tell me who that center is. If it's not Wendell Carter, who is?
You're ready to let go of some of these players because you rather them be here when we win rather than win at all.
No, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
I know you're not. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes we need to put what we want to the side of the betterment of the team. I wanted Cole to be here when we won a championship, but last year I accepted he's not the type of guy we need. When we had AG, and you know I love AG, I knew we had to let him go at one point, and everyone found that out.
Because Cole didn't fit next to Markel last year. Oh, we found that out. That's why Markel's no longer on the team. We found that out.
But Cole himself's just not a reliable backup point guard. That's the fact of the matter.
We took the ball out of his hands both these years. The ball was in AB's hands to start the year. You want Cole to be successful? Give him the ball as the back. Let him be that six man that you need.
We did.
The ball was in
5 years.
The ball was in AB's hand. The ball was in Markel's hand.
3 years, it was just his first 3 years. Who were in the ball? He had the ball in his hand.
We were garbage the first 3 years.
No,
he was rolling down the paint with Ken Birch and James Ennis.
Well, we can do the same thing with guys like Evan Fournier and Nikola Vucevic. They made the most
there's
of what little they had as well.
There's no Fournier standard here. Okay.
You
listen.
I'm just saying, bro. Like have to
listen. I think you choose. I think because it's not gonna happen. We're not gonna have 9 new rotation players. It's not gonna happen. If we're gonna be a step in what we want and realistic, this isn't 2K. We have to be realistic as well. Mo Wagner. I think Jonathan Isaac fit next to Mo Wagner just perfectly fine. They fit. Their weaknesses and strength, like, they go together. Mo Wagner isn't the greatest defender, but he's aggressive defensively. So J.I. is a perfect rim protector for Mo Wagner. He's not the great offensive player. Mo Wagner is. J.I. is able to be around the rim. I think the backup 4 and backup 5, they fit well. I think Cole is perfectly fine as the backup guard. To me, it's your starting point guard, your backup 2, and your backup 3. You need to make a decision on.
So I don't think the front office really has. I don't think they're going to move on from KCP in the offseason.
That's fine. Leave him next to Cole. If he wants to take 3 shots a game, KCP is the defender Cole Anthony needs off the bench. I don't need KCP trying to guard Darius Garland. If he can't do it at this age, so be it. If he wants to take 3 shots a game, so be it. Put him next to Cole off the bench.
So, I was going to ask, who are your untouchables on this roster?
Jalen, Franz, Paulo, Mo.
There you go. I'm glad you said that. So now come off-season time, you got to be ready to let Cole go. You need to be ready to let Wendell Carter go. Because you already just admitted.
Those are the untouchables. But listen.
The way we talk about them at times is like, yo, they're untouchable.
No, I understand. I understand. But it's the archetype that I know what this team needs, and those guys fit them. I'm not going to blame the construction around them to be their faults. Because look.
I don't know, bro. Wendell's had his time.
Dog, Wendell's healthy. Wendell's rebounding the ball. He's defending. He's switching on the perimeter. I'm loving Wendell right now.
You're right, bro. For the past week, yeah.
Made the clutch 3 today. You know, he gave us another chance. He matched the. You know, I was cool. I'm cool. Wendell's the center.
You're a fan of Wendell, and that's cool.
I'm willing. And if his 3-point shot bounces back,
if after how many years?
What are you talking about? This is the first year it's been bad. His 3-point shot. His 3-point shot. This is the first year.
Look into the numbers that you were talking about at the beginning. How many did he actually attempt last year? If he only attempted 1-3 last year,
I'll tell you right now.
On average.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Go ahead. How many threes did he need to attempt for you to be like, okay?
To be justified at what, 38%, 37%?
Yeah.
At least 3.
At least.
Don't tell me he took 2 a game and he was like, oh. Well, yeah, man, he went just little over 1. He only attempted 2.
Last year he took 3 a game.
3 a game.
3.1 a game.
So then what's the average?
In the year before that, he took 3.9 a game and shot 35%.
So basically he's been averaging just over 1-3 a game.
Do you want?
No, I mean making.
Yeah.
Like he's averaging
37%. So do you want Wendell taking 8-9 a game, taking 15 shots a game? Is that what you want?
No, but
Wendell
the way
Carter?
he stands on a 3-point line, it's like there's no tomorrow.
The point. Listen. The reason I love. Listen. Wendell. The positive look. Beyond the stat sheet, Wendell doesn't stop the ball. He keeps the ball moving. And he's quick at decision making. That to me, playing next to Franz and Paulo too, that can play isolation ball, play off screens. I love that. That is the standard we need. Miles Turner's not happening. Porzingis I don't think it's gonna happen. Wendell is. I really like Wendell. The game he plays is exactly what this team needs. Do I wish he was a little bit healthier? Yes. But outside of his foot, what I can't pronounce that word. He's been here. It's not fair to hold him against him because we asked him to play power forward when all these guys were out. So, because Goga's not spreading the floor. I love Goga. You're gonna make me sound like a Goga hater. You're gonna make me sound like a Goga hater.
Your center doesn't. I was a big advocate of drafting Derek Lively, and he doesn't space the floor. I don't think we need a guy who spaces the floor to be the center.
Oh, I think we do.
I think you need someone who's a rim protector and someone who's a big body that can play defense. And both of those things Wendell can do.
Wendell's not a shot blocker, but he is a paint defender.
He's not a rim protector.
He's not. He's not going to shot block, but he will.
And he's not that good of a defender.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I did not agree.
And I mean, we saw it. We saw how he played when Paulo and Franz were healthy. Granted, but we also have a few seasons as well, not just season. I mean, it is what it is. You can see Goga plays better with Paulo and Franz.
I don't think so. I think he played worse next to Paulo because him and Paulo take up the same space.
Wendell Carter Jr. to be the next coming of Nikola Vucevic.
No, that's not. No, I don't want that. That's the point. I don't want that.
But their games are very similar.
No, they're not.
They both sucked at defense.
That's crazy. Wendell's not a bad defender by any means.
I'm not saying he's a bad defender. I'm not saying he's a great defender.
Wendell's a really good defender. He's able to switch on the perimeter. He takes contact. He's not a shot blocker. If you want a shot blocker, then that's different. If you want Mo Bamba, that's different. Mo Bamba was a terrible defender, but he was a good shot blocker.
I don't know, bro. I feel like Wendell is just the poor man's version of Vucevic.
I don't think so.
And even at this age, Vucevic is averaging like 20 and 10.
Wendell Carter isn't gonna. You're not running your offense to Wendell Carter. You're not posting up Wendell Carter.
No, fair, but I mean, Vucevic can at least hit the three when he stands on the 3-point line half the game.
Listen, this is his bad year for shooting the ball. It happens. It's been across the whole roster.
But it's
Franz included, Paulo included, Jalen. It's a pattern. Not his shooting.
I really hope you're able to let him go when he's trade in the offseason. We'll talk then.
Listen, so but again, that's not my biggest gripe with the team. Wendell Carter to me isn't. The center position isn't the biggest problem with the team, if you want to call it a problem. It's the point guard. I'm tired of trying to forcing Jalen into a point guard spot when let him play the shooting guard. Let him be the elite defender. Let him be the catch and shoot guy. Let him. I like it when Jalen's aggressive to look for his own bucket, get to the rim, take middies. That's when Jalen's at his best. I'm so tired of trying to put shooting guards next to him and force him as a point guard. It hasn't worked. Worked last year, and that's why we brought in KCP. But clearly, if your shooting guard isn't going to shoot more than 3 shots a game, you need a point guard.
Even make 3 shots a game.
I said take. Take 3 shots a game.
Take and make. KCP is a veteran championship player. He should be able to hit at least 3 threes.
So move Jalen to the 2, where he belongs, and get a damn point guard, please. That to me should be the number 1 priority this offseason.
I mean, KCP gotta go. We're not paying someone $20 million to come off the bench. Well, that's crazy.
I honestly think KCP's contract. He is the only clutch client here, right? I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. Then I truly believe KCP's contract will be moved to be able to bring in a starting point guard and then use draft capital to get said point guard, whoever that is.
We'll have to see. I'm excited for the offseason. Just see what they're gonna do because granted we need changes and I think at least we can agree on that. So
because if you give me a proven point guard with Jalen, Franz, P, and Dell, I'll take it. And then you give me Cole, Jet, someone else, J.I. and Mo to start the year, I can move. We'll ride.
So are you gonna have tribute videos ready when Cole and Wendell get traded, or?
Okay, bro. Listen.
If you want, I'll hop on the pod with your goals, and we'll have a therapy session, and we can talk about the great memories they made in Orlando.
Cole, listen, if they get traded, yes, it'll suck. But I truly believe if these are the guys, if you say this team needs offense, I don't see how you move Cole. You say you don't want another isolation guy as your center position. I think Dell fits the team with what you need. Has been preferred this year? No. No one's really been that great this year, if we're being honest. So I don't know why Dell's being held to this standard like he is this 25-point game guy. He was never that. I didn't expect it to be that. What I expected out of Wendell Carter, outside of his 3-point shooting, he's been fine this year. But if they get moved, we'll talk then. I'll give it to you. Whatever. If you want,
I'm calling you right now. Trae Young and Brook Lopez to the Orlando Magic.
Brook Lopez.
I'm calling.
So you don't tell me you want to defend it and talk to me about Brook Lopez.
Bro. Brook Lopez can actually defend, and he's a rim protector.
So you want a shot blocker. That's what you want. You want a shot blocker. And there's a reason the Bucks run drop coverage every single time.
I mean, bro, they won a championship with Brook Lopez.
It must be nice to have Giannis and Jrue Holiday there. It must be really nice to have Giannis and Jrue Holiday next to you.
Yeah.
It must be really nice.
It must be nice.
As defenders, must be nice to be able to play drop coverage.
Teams like that, they have. I mean, contending teams in general, they always have to have a mix of shooting, defense, and everything combined.
Brook Lopez is 63 years old, man.
63. And he's still producing at a higher rate than Wendell, so yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna do this, okay?
Yeah. I mean, granted, I don't watch the Bucks, but I know the stats can't be that bad.
I watch Milwaukee. And again, it's not even the stats. It's the fact that they have to play a certain way to keep his rim protector because he's not that guy to go out and switch on the perimeter.
I mean, I really wanted Derek Lively.
So you want Brook Lopez 4 rebounds a game as your center? Because y'all killed Wendell for that. 4.9.
What else is he averaging? What else is he averaging?
12.5 a game.
From 3?
The percentage 36.
Okay. And I know he hits at least 2 a game.
1.9.
There you go. Okay.
1.9 the year before, 1.7, 1.5, 1.4. But again, older. Not.
He's definitely older, but I mean, against with Paolo and Franz, we're winning now.
That's
we're not building for the next 5 seasons.
You need a guy defensively that can switch. This team, the way this team.
Oh yeah, Wendell's that guy.
He does. He does. Perfect. Like I don't.
There was a reason, bro. He played awful the first 50 games of the season. We cannot look at the past week and be like, yo, this is who we want Wendell to be. This ain't who he is. Okay. You're looking at the small sample size.
We'll see. I guess we'll see.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see.
Yeah.
Take care, Wendell Carter Jr. Take care, bro.
All right. Anything else you wanna talk about?
I mean, I'm glad we can do this. I mean, I always respect your opinions. It's always nice coming on your pod. Thanks for having me. I don't have much high hopes for the rest of the season. If I'm just being honest, doesn't mean I won't watch games because I will. But I mean, if people out there are expecting this team to still reach some type of expectations you've set for them, I hate to.
They filled my expectations. That's fine. Across the board this season has been a failure. Injuries to guys we didn't expect happened. Injuries happened.
Thinking we were playing well even with the injury.
Guys forgot how to shoot. Our defense, I think, is slightly overrated. I think even the numbers overrate our defense quite a bit. But our best defender's out. Happens. Honestly, at this point, what are 3 things before we end off? We're gonna do with this. Your 3 things you want to see for the rest of the year.
Paolo and Franz becoming more efficient.
Okay.
I mean, I can't really say anything with Jim because we're not too sure when he'll come back. I guess AB playing consistently better because he continuously has this 1 game he's up and then 2 games he's down type performances. So consistency from AB. And if I say the last thing, just better coaching, I guess. Like, I don't know. But Jamal Mosley got to change something if he wants to just show growth. Okay. So, yeah.
For me, my 3 things are I need the team to remain healthy. I don't want to see anyone else go out for the rest of the year. I need this team complete, minus Wagner, obviously. I need to see what Jet Howard has to show for the last 20 games. So we have Jet. And I think what Wendell will show in these last 20 games with what he's done for the past 10, 15 games will honestly, and whatever he does in the playing tournaments, has playoffs, will determine if he's still the center for this team going into next year. So I think what we see out of Wendell, Jet, and health, those are what I need to see. Because if Wendell and Jet play well to end this year and they play decently well in the playoffs, because I think whatever happens, Cleveland and Boston are going to cook our asses anyways. If Jet and Dell are able to prove that they are part of this team moving forward, then I have a lot more hope going into the season after that and the summer. Then we at least I'm confident saying 4 of the 5 starters are solidified. Just give me my point guard and retool the bench and we can move. All right, Josh, thank you so much for coming on. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who should be here next year? Feelings about Mose, feeling about Weltman. See you guys next time. Peace.